Hi, Mark Oswald, your host for Londonderry Heart, Home, and Soul. I'm going to provide you with a brief introduction of video footage produced and shot by Drew Karen, Associate Director here at the Cable Studio. This is a taping of a Heritage Commission meeting that was conducted in the town forest. Town forest encompasses some 13 acres adjacent to the town common. It's bordered on the east by Mammoth Road, on the north by the stone wall adjacent to the common, on the south by Glenwood Cemetery, and bordered on the west by Max Orchards, Moose Hill Orchards. This 13-acre tract was deeded to the town back in the 70s by the Mack family and has never been harvested. As a member of the Conservation Commission, we have felt it important to do a selective harvest. This will not be, I repeat, it will not be a clear cut, as many of you have perhaps heard. That's incorrect information. This will be a selective harvest. We've had a certified forester walk the property. We've had the UNH Cooperative Extension Service walk the property. I've been involved, along with the Conservation Commission, Town Manager Dave Karen, and the Heritage Commission, which you'll see shortly in this video clip. The harvest is anticipated to begin shortly after Old Home Day and concluded by mid-September, allowing for loam and seed of approximately a 1/4 acre tract to be used for an ice rink in winter months, picnic area in the summer, and passive recreation. The rest of it will be a selective harvest. Most important is the elimination of the invasive Oriental bittersweet, a vine-like plant that literally chokes the life out of large trees. So it needs to be removed before we suffer any more loss of healthy forest in the tree lot. Let's go now to the video, and I'll talk again with you soon. I'm Mark Oswald. I'm a member of the Conservation Commission, and with me this evening are a variety of folks. A chance happening. We have 3 town councilors here, Kathy Wagner, Paul DeMarco, and Mike Brown. We have Arthur Rugg, Chairman of the Planning Board and Chairman of Heritage Commission, John Dalford, member of Heritage Commission and Historical Society, David Holglazer, right, am I pronouncing that correctly? Yeah. Heritage Commission, Deb Levins, Chair of Conservation Commission. And we are doing a brief site walk of the town forest adjacent to the town common. Conservation Commission has made a proposal to do a selective harvest of the wood. Has not been done in the recorded history of this land belonging to the town. And so we are doing a site walk this evening. This is April 10th, 2008, to provide further information to the Heritage Commission, who has oversight for this area.
So, Mark, actually I advertised this as a meeting of the Heritage Commission.
Oh, all right.
I know there'd be a quorum of Heritage
Then I'll let you open it.
Potentially no, that's fine, because what I'm going to do, I'll probably open it and turn it over to you, since you'd made the, you and Deb, you'd put this together and made the presentation to the Heritage Commission, so the floor is yours.
What we did was we did a demarcation. We have visual aids. We're using some former school bond signs to delineate 50 feet distance from the stone wall to the rear of the camera and abutting the town common area to this distance. And this is the recommendation. We've had the forester out, Charles Marino by name, and he's indicated that if we want passive recreation, ice skating rink in the winter, picnic area in the summer months, and just a additional clearing of an area that could be used for the ever-expanding, ever-growing Old Home Days. So that's where we're standing now. And the proposal is could be a 1/4 acre, which would be 50 by 200 feet, or some variation of that. And then the remainder of this nearly 15 acres would be selectively harvested. In other words, it's not a clear cutting by any means, and in fact there's some beautiful oaks, some hardwoods here that we would fully intend to retain as part of the tree lot. What did I miss?
Well, I think that the whole thing, we had the forester come out with this after the trip last spring with the county forester and Dave Karen, and took a look around. And we've been working with Charlie Marino for a long time. He's done cuts in the Musquash. He's supervised. He doesn't cut them himself. He supervised cuts in the Musquash and Kendall Pond. And so he came out. He and I walked around and looked at it. And the addition of the cutting and the thinning of this parcel really came out of our conversation about what the town wanted. I was trying to help him know what the town wanted to do, and whether we could afford to do it or not. And basically, the whole process of thinning, taking some of the logs from the tree logs from the back part of the property would generate enough money to pay for cutting these down to stumping. It would have to be stumped, loamed, seeded, and prepared for public use, and that there's some cost to that. In addition, he noticed there was quite a bit of bittersweet, oriental bittersweet, in the down over this little knoll here, and he suggested we make some effort to remove that. It is an invasive plant. It's a pretty nasty one. It might not be completely removed. We could set it back a little bit. So.
And the nature of the bittersweet, it actually wraps itself around vegetation and actually chokes it.
Chokes them. Yeah, I can do that. So, oh, and the other thing that Charlie had said is kind of a relevant thing. Rather than trying to come in through here anyway, he suggested having an access down from the orchard side, and then they would build a small landing to remove the trees, the logs, and that might provide an access way which we could expand on and bring up here into a trail in a format so people could actually walk from here down to the orchard, down to the cross-country area, and not have to go on the road.
And the Morrison House.
And the Morrison House, exactly. And one other thing I thought, it'll come to me.
Okay. Any questions at this point? Arthur?
I'll probably just look a little historical perspective on this, because this was, I think it must have been 84, 85 town meeting, Deb, that the town purchased this from Andy Mack's father, Wallace Mack, and that was back in my selectman days. And the intent was to preserve this as a town forest, but to utilize it for picnicking. And I think the selectmen at that time did some work with the Conservation Commission.
I wasn't on the commission at that point.
Okay. But at least to have it harvested so that it'd be somewhat healthy. I don't think anything was ever done. And the reason the Heritage Commission is involved, because this is part of the historic district. So anything that happens in the historic district has to go through the Heritage Commission. But from that, I think at one time there was a picnic area, probably in here. There's 4 or 5 picnic tables. They're long gone. Never was very well utilized or anything. The other thing is with the, this goes back a few years also, with the skating rink, and that was being proposed. It's just over there with parking alongside Pillsbury Road. And we weren't going to do anything with this, but that's come and gone also. So.
Art, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
It was my understanding the skating rink was not in the forest, it was on the common.
That was more recently.
It was there, and then the next discussion was down in here.
In the forest?
In the forest.
Okay.
And that was a little bit controversial with the Heritage Commission
I
at the
think
time.
the controversy was over the parking that
And
had to be built with it. People were upset taking trees down for a parking.
Right. The parking was kind of down to maybe 7, 8 cars along the road. There was going to be either gravel or granite dust, to keep the
one Bob Malloy was proposing?
Yes.
Move from on the common to into the forest?
Into there.
Okay. All right.
But it never came about, so.
Okay.
For better or for worse.
Well,
I think we still have those plans that were presented.
I think a lot of it. Park and Rec had limited funds, and they were looking at a lot of other sports and recreation activities.
The town had no money to put into it.
Right.
The town was
Right.
not funding